Houston, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't know how this is going to go over, but I'm going to say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you got to take one for your own team. I'm just saying. Now, in all seriousness, not to be funny, not to be disrespectful, let me tell you the reason why I would be an amazing gay partner. The level of communication between two men is so high, I might actually get an answer. There might be clarity and understanding. I might hear a yes. I might hear a no. Do you know how many relationships I have been in where I still don't know the outcome to certain conversations? Very simple yes or no questions. That's what I would do. Something as simple as, baby, you hungry? Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I probably should eat something, but I'm not feeling it right now. But if I don't eat right now, you know how I'm gonna get later. So I guess it's probably a good idea if I start eating right now. But it really depends on the options. What do you think? Ah! What about this one? Baby, where would you like to eat? You hear all the guys? Yeah. Finally! I'm not alone! Everybody's pointing at somebody right now. Guys, am I right? This has to be, you would think that this is the safest question in the world to ask, but it's not. Well, just pick something. You know me, I'm go with the flow. Whatever you decide is okay with me. You know me already, just pick something. All right, we're going to Burger King. I don't like Burger King. Why do we gotta go to Burger King? Burger King gives me chorro. Chorro is Mexican diarrhea. How about this one? How do you feel? Really? Really? You want to know how I feel? Well, you know, maybe if you'd pay attention from time to time, you might know how I feel. You might not need to have to ask me such a question because you would already know exactly how I feel. The amount of time and energy I've exhausted to let you know how I feel, and you have the nerve to ask me, how do you feel? Now imagine the exact same conversation between me and Mr. Lexus. Do you know how efficient that conversation would be? Hey, bro, you hungry? Thought you'd never ask. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. We're going to Burger King. I love Whoppers. Me too. We go to Burger King and we tear it up. We get back home and I ask him, hey, how do you feel? Horny. Me too. How do you want to do this? Heads or tails? It would be efficient. So moving forward, it's been over a year now, and the same question has been asked over and over again. So what now? Are you gonna start over? You're gonna get back up on that horse? You're gonna get a girlfriend? You're gonna get a wife, start a new family? What are you gonna do? And I'm like, I got dogs. I'm good right now. I know what it's like to be single for a long time, and I know what it's like to be in a relationship for a long time. And there's pros and cons to both. I can only speak for the guys on this one. Some guys. Guys, you ever been single so long you start to question whether or not it's by choice? And then you find yourself saying things like, guess I'll be single forever, just nobody wants me, nobody wants me, nobody wants me. Some of you are laughing because you have that friend. A lot of you are quiet because that's you right now. And then you notice how sometimes all it takes are just a couple of minor changes, a couple of minor adjustments to get back in the game. Like maybe you start cutting your hair different. Maybe you start dressing better. Maybe you start, I don't know, showering and shit. Someone takes notice and decides to give you a chance, and now you're back in the game. And there's no greater feeling in the world than that of being in a brand new relationship, because you're just so happy. You're so happy. You're the most optimistic person in the world. Nothing can mess your day up when it's brand new. You can miss your bus on the way to work. There'll be another. You could get fired. Guess it wasn't meant to be. You are so freaking happy. And then you start to reflect on your life before the relationship. And you remember how you would look at your phone and it would never ring. You know, you thought it was broken because it wouldn't ring. There's no text messages. You look at your DMs, nothing. But the minute you get into a brand new relationship, like magic, your phone, text message, ding, your social media, now you got numbers in there. People in the street are talking to you. And then you say this out loud. Where were all these people at when I was single? Answer? They were there the whole time. The difference is you were not this happy. I found out that happiness is one of the most attractive things in the world. Who doesn't want to be around someone who's positive? You know? Well, unless you got COVID. Never mind. Nice, pleasant, a joy to be around. Good energy. You know who really notices just how happy you are, guys, when it's a brand new relationship? Other women. Not your woman. Other women. They can't help but notice how happy you are. They stare at you and they point. Look at him. Look how happy he is. Oh, I bet I can change that. Guys, you are now blood in the water. And the sharks are out. And if you've never been hunted before, it is one of the scariest things in the world. Because usually you don't know you're being hunted until it's too late. You're over there minding your business, you're in your relationship, you're trying to make it work, and here they come. Before you know it, it's too late. She's got a hold of you. And she has you pinned down in the back seat of a car. And she's hitting you. She's hitting you with a baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark. You will never look at that song the same way again. You're welcome.
I'm a dork too. I don't know how to talk to women. And this guy always comes, hello. Girls go crazy. And ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a pretty man is your thing, if a gorgeous GQ guy is what you want, then by all means, go for it. But I'm gonna let you know right now, in the long run, a pretty man is gonna do nothing but lie to you, cheat on you, and break your heart. That's why, ladies, you need to start giving guys like me a chance. That's right, because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the worst thing I'll ever do is have dinner without you. And everybody, look at some of the girls. Everybody gives me advice too on the best way to meet that certain someone. You know, like my sister Emily, she always tells me the best way to meet someone is to go on the internet. She goes, go online, you'll meet someone. I'm like, I thought it'd be a good idea because my sister, she's cool people. She goes to school, she goes to church, she's nice. But I gotta tell you guys something, she's a freak. You know, you meet her in person, she's all sweet and innocent. Oh, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Bye. But you catch her online at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, man, she's like, I'm licking and sucking your toes. Ooh, do you like it? Now see, that's scary. It is, because I had no idea she was online. I was like, yeah, I like it. I was like, what's up? I see my sister the next day. She's like, I met someone. I said, me too. Check it out. I got some sandals. What's up? But you guys have to be careful. If you're going to meet people on the internet, be careful. Because you don't know what you're going to get. You don't. I went on a blind date with a girl who was half Sasquatch, half Chupacabra. Yes, some of the white people, Chupa what? It's like Bigfoot, only smaller. Like cousins, you know? You gotta be careful, because if they'll throw these little mysterious words out there to kind of like, get you excited. Like this one girl, she described herself as bubbly, and I hear bubbly and I was thinking, oh my God, wow, really? Shut up, what, really? Oh my God. Man, and instead what I got was... And I'm standing there. You have to be careful. And I said, you know what? Okay, maybe it's my bad luck. Couldn't possibly happen to me 3 times, right? So I gave it another shot. I went on another blind date with a girl who said she was a sexy Latina. I was excited. What's up? I get to her house, you guys. She was not Latina. Oh, no. She was black. Now, I didn't have a problem with her being black, but she specifically wrote out, I'm Latina. So I called her on it, right? I said, hey, girl, before we go any further, didn't you say that you were Latina? You know what she told me? She got mad. She was like, boo, I am Latina. Shoot, that's my name.
I want to let you all know right now that there are things about me that you don't know that you're going to find out sooner than later. So basically what I'm trying to do at this moment is do what my lawyer said and get ahead of it. I offended someone whose name I should have never brought up. I offended a professional fighter. His name is Canelo. I know. Go big or go home. If you are not familiar with who Canelo is, give me a few seconds to explain. Canelo is arguably one of the best fighters in the world. Okay? You cannot miss him. He is in fact Mexican, but he does not look traditional. Canelo is in fact the whitest Mexican on earth. He's super white. He's so white, he's redhead. Canelo is a redheaded white Mexican fighter. He is so white, even Donald Trump was like, you can come. Super white. But then he opens his mouth and you realize, oh, Canelo, he's not local. So here's how I got in trouble. A comedy friend of mine by the name of Ron White reached out to me. And Ron White invited me to be part of his Tribute to the Troops comedy show for the Nashville Network. And I told Ron, I said, Ron, I'd love to do the show. Anything for the troops, let's do this. So the show taped in Vegas. And it's a couple other comics plus myself. And Ron White's the host. He brings me up on stage and I figure I'm only doing 10 minutes, okay? I might as well just do references to Las Vegas since everybody knows Vegas. So I started talking about boxing. And then I brought up Canelo. And here's where I got in trouble. I said, Canelo is my favorite fighter of all time. I just wish... And it was all downhill after that. I said, I just wish he would not do interviews in English because English is not his strong language. And if you're a professional hear me out. If you're a professional fighter, you need to sound confident, engaged, threatening, aggressive, on point, in your face. And in Spanish, he does. In English, not so much. In Spanish, he's a killer. In Spanish, the reporter, the announcer comes out. Aquí estamos con Canelo Álvarez que se va a pelear contra Floyd Money Mayweather este fin de semana en pay-per-view en el MGM Grand en Las Vegas, Nevada. I know some of you heard that right now and you're like, oh my God, I think I understand Spanish. Because you do. So then the reporter will look at Canelo and ask him about the fight. Canelo, ¿qué vas a hacer en tu pelea? Canelo takes the microphone. He's a man of few words, but he's on point. He looks at the camera and he's like, pues mira, lo pegaré así, va a pegar el piso. Shas. Así mero, no se lo pierde ese fin de semana en el MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. Canelo Álvarez contra Floyd Money Mayweather. No se lo pierda. Same exact interview. English. I'm standing here alongside Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's going to be facing Floyd Money Mayweather this weekend on pay-per-view. Canelo, what is your strategy and your plan of attack going into this weekend's fight against such a technical opponent, if you will? A man who has single-handedly redefined the sport of boxing. What is your plan of attack going into the fight? Well, I am going to hit him like this. I'm going to hit him like this. He's going to fall on the, ¿cómo se dice piso, güey? Floor. He's going to fall to the floor and then tan tan, así. All right, well, there you have it. Floyd Mayweather, I hope you are ready, my friend, because, yeah, that's what's waiting for you. Reporting live for ESPN News, I'm Phil Stevens. Back to you in the studio, and we're out. The hell was that, goddammit? Why did you warn me? I found out that Frankie is very sensitive about his mom. And he's at the age right now where affection really bothers him. Not necessarily from me, because if I try to hug him, he's cool with it, because I give those quick bro hugs, you know, like, hey, what's up? You know? However, if his mom is standing right next to me and I reach over and I grab her hand, he sees that as gross, and he'll make the face. What? Ah. The hand? That's gross, Dad. I go, that's not gross, Frankie. That's not gross. Baby, open your mouth. That's his weak spot, and I go for it every single time. One day I was ironing one of my shirts that I was gonna put on, right? I'm ironing the shirt and I'm talking to him about his grades. As I'm talking to him about his grades, there's a car driving in front of the house, and the stereo was really loud, and you could feel the bass. So I started dancing. Oh yeah. Frankie starts laughing, right? And it felt good. I was making my son laugh. But then he starts pointing. Why are you pointing? Because you're fat. Your fat's going everywhere. Your fat's going everywhere. I go, really? My fat's going everywhere? Well, guess what? This fat makes your mom horny. And he's like, ah! If I ask him to do something and he doesn't do it, like for example, as parents, you want your kids to go to sleep by a certain time because you need them to wake up in time to get ready for school. Frankie's cutoff is 11 o'clock. It's pretty late, if you ask me, for a kid. Sometimes he'll push it to midnight. And he'll play dumb. Oh, I don't know what time it was. Yeah, whatever, you're only holding a clock. But I get it. I used to play dumb too. So then he'll walk in his room and he'll say, oh, good night, Dad. And he'll close the door. And he thinks he's slick. He takes a towel and he starts rolling up the towel. And he puts it under the door so that I can't see the light coming from the TV. Sounds pretty genius, right? But hello, cover the rest of the stupid door. He freaking turns on his big ass TV and it looks like immigration's breaking into his bedroom. And so what happens is he'll stay up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's supposed to wake up at 6. His alarm goes off and he sleeps through the alarm. And it's a real alarm. It's not a radio. It's freaking whole house awake. Him? And it's right here. So I gotta get out of bed and I go over to his room and I open the door and I kick the stupid towel out of the way. And then I walk over, and I yell, Frankie! Frankie! Nothing. So I shake him. Frankie, wake up! You know what happens when I shake my son in the morning? It makes him eat in his sleep. That's what happens. I shake him and he does this. Nom, nom, nom. So you know what I do? I get on top of the bed and I slowly lay on top of him. And I apply my full weight, bro, all of it, slowly, and you could hear him. Oh God, oh God, you're too big, you're too big. And then I whisper in his So here's the story. So I had done shows before, in Texas, and I had never done a show in San Antonio. So the original plan was we wanted to record a special in San Antonio for the new Netflix show, for the series. So we couldn't really travel too much. And remember, they kept telling us, stay in your bubble, stay in your COVID bubble. Don't forget to stay in your bubble. So in order to be as proactive and just careful, we all went out there together as a team, okay? And then we all basically said, we're gonna do a residency in San Antonio for 30 days. 30 shows in 30 days. And on the last day, we'll record a new special. This way it gives me a chance to start performing again because it'd been over a year since I touched the stage. And so we get there and they gave me the option. Do you wanna stay in a house or do you wanna stay in a hotel? And I said, well, I've never lived in Texas before, so let's see what a house feels like. So they got us like this fancy Airbnb, and basically, it was Martin, Alfred, my friend Rick, myself. It was like 4 of us. It was like the Mexican version of the real world, okay? So we're all in this big house together. Everyone gets their own room. And so, of course, I get the big room because it's me. And, look at some, no, yes. So I open up the door, I turn on the light, click. And I'm like, this is a beautiful room. Wow, look how big it is. And then I notice there's a hole in the wall. And I said, that's weird. So I get really close to the wall. And when I got close, I realized it's not a hole. It's a big ass roach. And let me tell you, I am not exaggerating when I tell you that cuca was this big. That roach was this big. Now, I have used this unit of measure before to exaggerate. And let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that freaking cucaracha was this big. And I don't want you guys thinking, oh, what, you think you're too good for roaches? No. I grew up with roaches my whole life. My mom and I, we lived in apartment buildings, projects. We always had roaches, but they were different. First of all, they were this big. And California roaches are very different. Okay? For example, when you turn on the light, they scatter. In Texas, he chilled. In California, they respond to sound and movement. Ah! Scatter. I tried my California technique on this Tejano roach. I said, ah! And the roach was like, what? Oh my God, I don't think he's in my room. I think I'm in his. And at that moment, my tour manager walks in the room and she's like, is everything okay with the accommodations? I said, no, the room is beautiful, but look at the wall. Aw, there's a hole in the wall. I said, get closer. She gets up to the wall and she's like, oh, it's a big ass roach. I said, you're okay with that? She said, he's not in my room. She can see that I'm visibly bothered by this roach. So she's like, would you like me to take care of your little friend for you? And it is a little emasculating because I'm a big guy and she's like 5'2". So she's like, move, fool. She takes off her shoes, she grabs it, she gets up on a chair, and she brings it back, and she's like, soy la 69. Bam! Nailed that roach. Threw down her shoe, put it on. I look at the wall, and it kept moving. And I said, you have angered our friend. And she was like defensive. Fool, round two. So she grabs her shoe, gets back up on the stool, and she brings it back. And just as she's about to nail this roach for the second time, that shit started flying. Because after COVID, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only good thing I can say about 2020 for me was the fact that for some reason I managed to lose 70 pounds. Thank you. Yeah, I lost 70 pounds. People ask me, what's your secret? I said, it's no secret. They closed all the goddamn restaurants. That's a secret. I didn't know how to cook. That was the secret. It was me at home with a Foreman grill making weenies. But yeah, we were on tour in Kalamazoo, Michigan when we got the news that we had to go home. And then we came home and we all turned on our TVs and we watched them lie to us. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy person, but they told us, remember? It's only going to be 2 weeks. That's it. They told us 2 weeks. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we'd just like to ask that you go home for 2 weeks. Be with your loved ones. Be with your family. Just 2 weeks while we figure things out. Dr. Anthony Fauci has given us some new information to go by. Just 2 weeks. That's all we need. Just 2 weeks. And I apologize for using the same stereotypical old white voice. But that's the one that they used. Because that's the one we listen to in a time of crisis. It couldn't be any other voice. It couldn't be, no hombre, cállate, shut up, mira. No más 2 weeks, okay? No más tú. You're gonna go home con tu mamá y tu papá. And if COVID come to the house, you tell COVID, hey, no está aquí, güey. Come back another time, it's okay. Just 2 weeks. It couldn't be any other voice. It couldn't be, I tell you what. That's what you're going to do, goddammit. You're going to take your ass home. You're going to hunker down. You're going to hunker down, and if COVID shows up at your front door, get her done right there to the face. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Just 2 weeks. It couldn't be any other voice. It couldn't be, all right, listen up. Okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go home. You're going to be with your family and them, right? And if, you don't want to laugh at the black voice, huh? Whatever, that's your guilt, not my guilt. I'm fine. But yeah, just 2 weeks. That's what they told us. 2 weeks. And 2 weeks turned into 2 months, turned into half a year, turned into a year plus. And little by little, they told us who was most at risk for COVID-19. Come to find out, it's people over 45. Okay? People who are overweight. Here we go. Diabetics, no chingas, really? Most at risk, Latinos and African Americans. Bye, Felicia. I come to find out I was 85% of the underlying conditions. Over 45, overweight, diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Apparently, COVID is my Tinder match. Someone finally wants to swipe right, and her name is Corona. He's at the point now of spoiled where he walks up to me and he goes, Dad, I'm really bored with my Nintendo Wii. Can I give it to my friend Angel? I go, what did you just say? I'm bored with my Nintendo Wii. Can I give it away? I go, is it broken? No. How long have you had it? Woo, like 4 years. I go, how many games do you have for the Nintendo Wii? Like 300. I could feel you judging me over there. I felt that. Oh! You're judging me right now. I could feel it. She's over there. She's like, this is some Dr. Phil right here. He really messed him up. I heard you. Let me just, for the record, let me set this straight, okay? I did not buy my son 300 games. Here's what happened. I have a friend who's a computer hacker, And for 75 bucks, he put 300 games on my son's hard drive. Yes, I have money, but I'm still ghetto. Oh, yeah. So I tell Frankie, do you realize how lucky you are? And then he rolls his eyes. Oh, lucky. I go, yeah, dude, you are. I says, you got a Nintendo Wii that works. You've had it for 4 years and it still works. If something happens to it, I can take it back to the store, get you a new one because I got a warranty that'll last you another 4 years. Why is that a big deal? Because when I was your age, I had a Nintendo. Wii? No. Frankie, in 1987, I had a thing called a Nintendo Entertainment System, okay? Nintendo Entertainment System. It didn't last 4 years. It lasts 90 days. 90 days is what it took for you to hit power and start seeing a flashing red screen. You know the flashing red screen where you have to look at the ground or look away or you have a seizure right then and there? Oh, yeah. And then what you had to do is you had to flip the Nintendo over and there was a silver sticker with an 800 number on it. And you call the 800 number and they put you in contact with someone in Japan who made you feel like a pendejo. Oh yeah, he made you feel stupid. You call him up and he's like, it costs $250 to repair Nintendo. $250 to fix it, but it's $150 for a brand new one. And if you couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, like we couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, you had to become a technician at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You had to go in the kitchen and find the most messed up butter knife you could, right? The one that had bent marks and rust stains, and take that sucker back in the living room because you were going to perform an operation. You were going to perform an operation and bring that Nintendo back to life. Yeah. You had to work to play. You had to unplug it, plug it back in, power reset, power reset, power reset. It was like performing CPR. You'd hold a car.